episode 17.
Rise and grind, gamers.
We recorded one yesterday.
We did record. We recorded 16 Okay. I got like 2 hours of sleep last night.
Nice.
Because we recorded the episode, then I had to go to work. I didn't get home until about 10. And I had to edit the whole episode. I didn't add any transitions to last week's episode, or 16, or last night's episode, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty much all the same topic. And
yeah.
I was going through for like an hour, just like it's either going to have like a ton of transitions, or we just don't do any.
If this one has transitions, which it will, because we have a bunch of different topics, let's use the same artist.
Cassius Keys.
Cassius Keys. Shout out Cassius Keys, first of all.
Shout out to that man.
Yeah. Do you know who we're talking about at all? Okay,
I'm
cool.
Sorry, Cassius.
This man is not Columbus educated, and that's why he's here. But Cassius Keys, you put on a killer live show, and you are kick-ass in general, and you did a song on my first album, so thank you. You're cool.
I personally like the second song that you did in that place, doing that thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It sounded like static.
Real quick, we got to run through a couple. We got to run through a couple messages real quick. First of all, this episode of the Gap Street Podcast is sponsored by the Green Room.
This is green too.
This is green.
Yeah.
The green. Yeah.
It makes
green
sense.
Sign. So if you haven't heard me talk about the Green Room before, if you're new to the podcast, they've basically been helping us out, helping us with some distribution fees so that you beautiful people can watch us and listen to us on all your different platforms. We're basically helping get their name out there, and they're helping us so that we don't go broke. So the Green Room is basically a store that's opening up at the end of 2019, at the latest, supposedly, where they're going to be holding or having a bunch of different products that they're going to be selling, from cool T-shirts to smoke products, a bunch of different cool stuff. If you've ever been to a Spencer's or Waterbeds and stuff, or any kind of store like that, then I guarantee that you will dig the Green Room. So make sure to tune into this podcast for updates regarding that.
And there will not be Kanye shirts there.
There will not be
that
Kanye
shit's
shirts.
illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We had a Kanye shirt up for like 5 minutes, and UMG took it down because we used his likeness.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Ross Davie, this week's guest.
We got a big guest here.
I'm Ross Davie.
He's an artist.
Yeah, I do art.
You do art, graphic design, and
he moves his fingers.
That I
and
do,
it's all
yeah.
like poof.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I do art as a profession. My tag online is Ross Davie Art. You can find me on Instagram and stuff. I'm sure we should save that stuff for the end, but yeah, here I am. I'm the guy.
And we'll throw some of your stuff up on the screen and just be like, hey, check out his art.
Ding.
You actually did the logo that I currently use for my personal YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what you use that for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, the Parsifal YouTube channel, that's what I have
there you go.
as my logo.
This big man here is the guy in the drawing.
Yes.
It's crazy. Guy. They just use a drawing of another guy. Like, it's just, it's my thing, but
There you go.
Yeah.
I did that.
So Ross, we know you because we went to high school together.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were a year ahead of us.
Went to high school.
We can say that now because we're graduated now.
Yeah, you guys, look at you guys. You're all grown up.
Yeah.
We're big men.
Now we're all out of high school.
Yes.
And done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think how exactly I met you.
I met you through band.
You met me through band, yeah.
Yes. We were in band together for like 3 years.
You played trombone, and I was a clarinet. And I was like, that kid's cool.
I think I met you through our friend Sarah.
Sarah, which one? I know like 5.
Sarah's. I think
it's like there's 16 Emmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much that story.
It's a good time. Then I looked in your face. I was like, this man is just going to be my friend.
Yes.
And then it happened.
And we played Super Hot VR together in Ben's basement.
We did. There's a lot of things that happened in Ben's basement. Not a lot.
That was like one of the last times I saw you. I think was like, besides the time that I ran into you at a Roosters.
Oh yeah, that was.
And you were just chilling, and I was like, "Hey, I know that kid," and you were like, "Hey, I know that kid."
Yeah, and then you're just like, "Where are you going to college?" And I said, "Nope." And then you're like, "Darn."
Next week, interviewing Ben's basement. No, we're not going to talk about that today. That's not on the roster. No, it is on the roster though. Let's talk about your professional life.
Let's talking about what you do because you don't go to school.
This is a job interview.
This is a job interview.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my strengths and weaknesses. I like running. I don't got that many toes though. I'm sorry. The camera can't see my toes. I'm pretty sure, but I don't got them. Anyways, Yeah, I'm an artist.
I don't know why I checked your toes. Like, I looked down and I'm like, wait, is there something I haven't known about this guy?
Don't reveal my secret. What was your question?
So, how did you get started? What was your initial interest, and what was the gateway into where you are now, basically?
I've been drawing ever since I was like in kindergarten. My teachers would really get mad at me. They'd be like, "Hey, stop drawing in your worksheets," and I'd be, "Fuck you, teacher! I'm gonna draw on my worksheet anyways." So that's how I originally got started, and then once like freshman year came around, maybe like 5-6 years ago, I was like, "Oh man, I can do this as a profession." So then I started at it. I was terrible at first. I was only drawing furry OCs in a very bad art style. I don't want to go back. Don't send me back, please.
We'll make you think about it, but we won't send you back.
I don't want to go back. Anyway, I bought a drawing tablet in 2014. Yeah, it was like this really shitty $50 tablet that I got from Micro Center. And then I just kind of started from there. I've just been building up ever since. That's kind of how I got started.
So what does your art consist of, for the most part?
My art still consists of other people's OCs. If you don't know what that is, you're doing perfectly fine. It's someone else's like original character. OC, that's what it stands for. But yeah, basically what I do is that they contact me over Instagram, Twitter sometimes, and they'll be like, "Hey, can you draw this in your style? I'll give you money." And I'm like, "Dope, I'll do that." And then that's what I draw.
So are these like D&D characters and like fantasy type characters that they do or like come up with? Like
usually it's pretty widely over the spectrum. A lot of it is fantasy and D&D, but I'll also get like other stuff where like it'll just be like cat people and it makes me uncomfortable. There's a lot of people that are just like, "Hey, can you draw this pony in a inappropriate pose?" And I have to be like, "No, I'm not gonna do that."
Not even for money, dude?
No.
You won't even demand more? Like, come on.
I gotta pass. Just like you gotta think about like the mental. That shit fucks you up.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
not
only
sell
so
your
many
soul
times
for it.
that you can draw a horse cock before you start to bounce off the walls.
There you go. This man gets it. But yeah.
I don't know why he gets it, but he does. He does. This is something I haven't learned about this guy, but, I guess.
So your art style is kind of like, we'll probably throw up a few examples in the video part of the podcast, but it's kind of got this like kind of cartoonish aspect to it. And how did you develop that art style over time?
I first developed it how like most artists develop their art styles. Is I literally just copied other people's art styles, and then like eventually like mixed more together until it looked into something unique. Something that you quickly learn as an artist is that nothing you do is truly original. Everything that professional artists do is stealing from other artists, and then bam, that's how you do the do.
And you draw things doing the do as well. So.
Yeah, that's what doing the do means. It could also mean other things, but that's what I mean.
It's like, was it Salvador Dali that said, "Good artists take or great artists steal" or something like that?
I think
or good artists borrow.
Good artists do the do. I think that's what it was.
I've definitely heard both those
Good
quotes
artists
before.
do the do, Salvador Dali.
I didn't know it was from Salvador Dali, but the man speaks the
Like
truth.
good artists borrow, great artists steal, something like that.
There you go. Yep, that's how I did it.
How do you borrow that? How do you borrow something for art?
It's like when you say, "Can I borrow a fry?"
Borrowing.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm just gonna get
can't tell
that
you.
Boondocks clip.
20 years later, it's like, there, all right, here you go. Like,
I mean, they last forever. I mean,
Cory, do you know how art works?
oh, what?
Do you know how art works? I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. But yeah.
If y'all are listening and not watching, I shook my head really hard when I said that.
Hell yeah. Awesome. But yeah, my art style mostly consists of like 3 major artists that I like kind of pull aspects from. And if you look at those artists, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I can see that." And name them off. I can name them off on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Vizzy Pop. She has like this really like crazy, like colorful, really out there art style.
Social media? What's their social media? Do you know?
It probably would be just VisiPop.
Okay, cool. We'll like put it on the screen and stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to do research now. Damn it.
Do some shout outs. It's your job. Sorry.
There's Trent Kaluga, I think that's what his name is. And he's like this really like old fart. I think he's like 50 something.
Oh, that's so not like okay for
like graphic design artists. It's
yeah.
Like
in the scheme of things.
Yeah. He did a lot of things. He did a lot of illustration for Marvel. He worked for like Riot Games for a while. Same with Blizzard. And he has like this really high render, just like steampunky art style that just makes you go, oh wow, how'd you make that?
Nice.
And then the third one is a guy named Kanan Lafferty. He also worked for Riot Games, the people who made League of Legends. And he does like a lot of art tutorials and stuff like that. So I would just follow those for hours while I drew.
Cool.
And I was like, I'm just going to steal this and this, and now I'm here.
Do you know who Ryan Otley is by any chance?
No.
Okay, he does like a lot of comic drawing. Anyway, I follow him on Instagram. It's pretty cool.
Go.
So more research for you. Put that on the screen too.
5:13 a.m. thinking. Why the fuck is you even up? Yeah. If life flashed before your eyes, is it ever worth blinking? Oh, it's flashing in my eyes.
Your Instagram, you post like a majority of the stuff that you do as a freelance artist. You kind of throw up on your Instagram. I notice here and there you like throw up an occasional comic. Like I really like one that you did. I was like, it's just like really short. It's like, hey, let's play a game. Let's help Ross pay rent this month.
Yeah. If you go back into that, on the last panel where I throw out like, hey, DM me for comic book details, my hand's like this, except the fingers are that way. And so many people are giving me shit about it that I would go back and change it, but I'm not going to. I'm owning it.
Yeah.
It's just like out of spite, like, fuck you guys. I know what I did. But I really did it.
But like drawing hands is hard and time consuming. So how long did it take you to draw that hand?
In your art
how far were you into it before you realized it was like that?
I posted it and it was about 2 weeks later. And then like 5 people are like, that hand's wrong, and I'm like, I know.
Are you judging my condition? Is that what you said?
No, but that's a genius response.
Dude, I slap people with the back of my hand. It's actually like the front, like
the video of that girl that like grabs the Coke can with her hand backwards.
God,
have you seen that?
I hated that. I didn't like it whatsoever.
Dude, we evolved for a reason. That's not supposed to be like that.
Maybe she's the next step. You never know.
And anyway, back to my point with like doing comics. Like, do you plan on like focusing on more comic work? Because I noticed that your work that you post is more just kind of like, here's a character that I'm working on, here's a headshot that I did of somebody. Like, or do you plan on doing like more original comic stuff?
My motivation for comics goes in and out. I can easily bust out a comic in like an hour. And I try to do them daily. That's why there's like in and out spots where like I'll have like 5 and then like none at all. It's just like a matter of like if I feel like doing it. People definitely like that stuff a lot, and that would be my only reason for doing more.
Would you make a Gap Street comic?
I don't know that it. Oh wait. Don't worry, I love you guys. You just spat it out words and I couldn't process, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
And you pointed to the fucking sign to like remind yourself where you were.
There we are.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dude, but like actually, like I would pay you money to make a Gap Street comic.
You know what?
That would be super cool.
That's my profession.
Dude. Alright, we're getting this up. We're going to post it. It's going to be great.
Coming sometime next year, maybe.
You saw it
Gap
first.
Street comic.
Yes.
Gap Street comic. Yeah, awesome.
Let's do it. Yes.
So, I know back in the day you were a big Steven Universe fan.
Back in the day?
I don't know if you still are.
Yeah, that's
are?
still my favorite TV show.
From some of your work, I feel like it's kind of inspired.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the general roundness of some of the characters. It's like, so what are some other, like, are there any other like shows or cartoons that you kind of draw inspiration from, just either through your art or just as an artist in general?
When it comes to like character creation, like how like what's this characters like temperaments and stuff like that. I draw a lot of inspiration from shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, stuff like that. I actually like rip characters off from that show when I design like my own D&D characters. It's pretty shameless, but I do it anyways.
That's cool.
Yeah. Steam Universe, really big one. Gravity Falls, like their facial expressions, I'll steal that stuff a lot.
Let's talk about cartoons for a while. I like talking about cartoons. I've talked about cartoons since I was like 7 years old. Let's do this.
That makes me sad.
Is anime is anime cartoon?
I feel like that's a can of worms. I'm not
privy to this debate, so go ahead. I want to hear it.
I feel like I'm not like... I don't know what the word is, but I don't think I'm deserving enough to get into that. I'm not.
Fair enough. You don't have the degree.
I don't have the degree. That's it. Like, you need...
I mean, like, I guess it goes down to your definition of, like, what's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess that... I don't know, like... Corey, can you while you got the computer next to you, can you Google the Webster's
Now I'm the
dictionary?
intern. Okay.
Now you're
Great.
I would assume it's probably just like... Or no, not is anime a cartoon.
What? What did you ask me?
What is a cartoon?
What? That's all I had in my mind.
What is a cartoon? A simple drawing showing the features of its subjects in a humorously and
that's so animated.
Exaggerated
way, especially a satirical one in a newspaper or magazine, or a motion picture using animation techniques to photograph a sequence of drawings rather than real people or objects. So that is...
So I guess any form of animation,
Look,
I guess.
people also search for anime. Right.
There you go.
It's the second one. I don't know why drama is the first one, but...
Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what? It's Google.
Why is this the representative picture?
That's Mr. Bean.
That's Mr.
Is that
Bean.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's an American hero.
Wow.
Isn't he from Europe? Isn't that the whole thing?
He is from Europe.
It's not a problem. It's whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Nice.
I feel like if you ask me, the difference in between... that was gross. A little bit... Okay, anyways.
A little bit of phlegm.
What?
Little bit of phlegm came flying out of my mouth.
Nice.
I completely forget what I was talking about.
Anime and cartoons.
Anime
versus cartoon.
Did it happen again?
I don't know, did it?
Okay, no, it didn't. Anime is... First of all, it depends on kind of where it comes from, but then you get into, like, anime that were, like, developed in the West, like in America, and then there's, like, whatever.
Cowboy Bebop.
I didn't know that.
I think so. I think it is.
Castlevania.
And Castlevania, that's a good one. It kind of boils down to like the style. Like anime and cartoon definitely have like two very different styles, and then there's very few examples that I can think of where like those two kind of like blend together. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender, people would call that a comic, but it definitely has like a lot of like anime aspects to it.
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah,
like
I agree.
How faces are drawn, how they act. Same with Legend of Korra. Voltron? Yeah, that was one. And just like stuff like that where it just like kind of bridges the gap, but like most of them are in two very separate categories.
So is Winnie the Pooh an anime?
I would say no.
Oh,
sorry.
Darn. It's my theory.
But yeah, because I know like people in the like an older generation that aren't really under like know anime as it is or where it came from and the whole like principles behind it. Mm-hmm. Like when I tried to get my dad to watch Death Note because it's like one of my favorite shows of all time, but the main reason that kept him away from it was because not the movie. Oh,
I think it said booby. I was like,
I mean, keep any guy away.
No, but like he didn't really want to watch it because he saw it as like, well, it's a cartoon,
right?
So I feel like I don't know. I think the
Love
whole
Death and Robots.
Love that.
Well,
good. Yeah, but that's not.
Some of it's cartoon.
That's most. Yeah, some of it is like cartoon, but a lot of it is also kind of like 3D rendered.
Yeah,
but the cartoon ones are really good.
I'm pretty sure for some of them they use like the Unreal Engine for like.
Oh really?
They just look so much like a video game cutscene.
Yeah.
And not like traditional like CGI.
Like the very first one does for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I first watched Love, Death, and Robots, I immediately thought of you, Ross, because I was like, this has got to be his shit. Like, there's no way that he just didn't love this show.
Dude, I watched the entirety of that series while you were laying on the floor right there.
Yeah, I was like, because I had mentioned it, I had already seen it twice, and I was over at Corey's one night, and we were just like, let's watch Love, Death, and Robots. Or like, I think you just pulled it up and he was like, what about this? And I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I fell asleep.
I started watching it. You were gone. I put my headphones on. I just stared at that screen for like another 3 hours.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, I really dig most of it. And then some of it was just like, wow, there's just straight up porn on my screen right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Warning to whoever's planning on watching that. There is a lot of stuff.
Definitely mature content.
Yeah.
Great.
But you know, I'm a big boy, so I can handle it.
He's a big
fine.
boy now. He's graduated high school.
Yep. That's what that means.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how it be.
Yeah, I'm officially an adult. My coworker said I can kill people now, so yeah.
I think that's something you can always do.
Well, he works at a place where you throw axes.
I do throw axes for a living.
So
I'm sorry?
I'm like trained, you know?
You throw axes for a living?
Yeah, I work at Dueling Axes. You know where that is?
No.
It's downtown. Like, I coach people how to throw bladed objects.
Whoa, what made you want to do that?
Opportunity. It's not like I had a passion for it beforehand where I was like, man, you know, like, if I could do one thing, like, that wasn't it, but I got the opportunity, and I have loved working there for the past, like, 8 months now. 7 months or so. I don't know. But beautiful job. I love it there.
Nice. Throwing axes.
Love it, dude. Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm sure there's an anime that's based around axe throwing. Or at least like a cartoon.
Google it.
Don't say there isn't something
again.
based around the anime, because...
Cartoon based around axe throwing.
Here it is. This is how we get all of our questions.
There's like there's no.
It's called The Woman Was Really Nerd. No, I'm just kidding.
That's that meme of like the girl who throws the axe, it bounces off the floor.
No, we don't talk. We already talked about that.
Corey gets upset whenever anybody mentions that. Have you seen that video of the
I have
woman
no idea what
that
you're talking
throws
about.
the axe and it bounces back?
All right, I think we're not getting anywhere with that.
Anyway.
Cool.
It's not on the first page. It's not.
So back to cartoons for a little bit.
Yes.
I've had this debate with my buddy Sam. We have this debate every once in a while. Not really a debate, but a conversation about how Disney has completely steered away from doing 2D animation. I'm trying to think. When was the last like?
No, they have PewDiePie.
When was
That's the difference.
They dropped him after he dropped the N-word.
Yep.
on live.
That's something he did.
What happened?
Good old Felix.
Okay.
He done goofed.
But yeah, like, was it Treasure Planet was like the last?
Dude, Treasure
I
Planet's
feel like there's
dope.
one more recent than that.
I know there is more recent than that, but like Treasure Planet is kick-ass. That movie's severely underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
That was like my shit growing up. Have you ever played the Treasure Planet video game?
No.
It's
I
kind
think
of hot.
so,
It's
yeah.
kind of hot garbage.
Wasn't it on like the Game Boy?
No, PS1.
Damn.
Probably didn't play it then.
Did they do Atlantis, or was that a different studio?
Because
I want to know who did Atlantis, because that show was like, really good.
I feel like that was Disney.
Yeah. Can we talk about Atlantis for a minute? Because
Atlantis?
I never.
You never saw that movie?
I never saw Atlantis.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I saw it. That was the shit.
I love that
It
movie.
was real
dude.
good.
Like, you know, the one image that comes to my mind is like the main dude with like he has kind of a similar facial structure to you. Actually.
Milo?
Yeah. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. And his hair is like a little more wild. But I see like the ship with like the lattice window. On
Oh,
the
yeah.
side. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's the thing. I don't really remember much else from that movie. Honestly, I just see that image and I'm like, God, that was done so well. Anyway, we can talk about something else now. But I gotta gush about Atlantis because that movie was like the shit.
Oh man, yeah, I could. That movie is very stylized, and that's kind of like my thing. If a movie has like a lot of like style uniqueness to it,
Yes.
you bet your ass I'm going to love the show of that movie.
Also, Brother Bear.
Brother Bear?
Brother Bear.
It was alright. The first one was pretty good. Second one was like,
There was a second one?
There was. I think there was a third one.
Gee, okay, well,
But like,
cash cow, I guess.
Yeah, they did the thing that Disney always does, is that whenever they make a
Great.
sequel, it's just hot garbage. Except for Toy Story. That one was really good.
Toy Story 4, let's talk about it. Should it happen or should it not happen?
I don't think it should have happened.
I don't think it should happen.
Yeah.
Did it already happen? Is it out?
Not yet.
Okay, I was going to say.
I think they just recently released like the new trailer for it. I think.
Dude, they like burned the toys last time. When do they have to... the story's over, you know? That was Toy Story Endgame right there. Like, that's...
Dark turn so fast.
Yeah.
In the whole, like...
Remember all, like, the mom Facebook posts where, like, I cried at the end of Toy Story 3. Like, and it's like, there's, like, a minion on the side of it. Like, it's just...
Oh, yeah.
Every single time.
Ooh.
Like, fucking Andy Thanos snapped and, like, burned half his toys.
I
like,
guess so. That's how that works. I've never heard of that kind of crossover, but yeah, I dig it. But yeah.
Would you get a shoe that says Andy on the bottom? Just because you're a mega fan? Would you do
I
that?
would buy a shoe, then write Andy on the bottom of it. I would not buy a shoe
like
with it already
especially
there.
like a collector's edition shoe.
Yeah, that would just make me
shittily
sad.
scrawled. God.
You know, some like small child in India did that, and it would just make me sad.
All right then.
We're going there.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay.
all right, we're gonna transition a little bit. So we talked about cartoons in general.
Cartoons.
Do you ever have you ever tried experimenting in any form of animation yourself as an illustrator?
Yes. Do I like it? Not really. It's really tedious, but I have dabbled in animation before. I think I only have like one animation on my Instagram right now. And it's of it was from like an audio from people playing a video game. I forget who it was, but they were playing Monster Prom. Do either of you know what that is?
Nope.
No.
Oh,
I
it's
feel like I saw your video though, a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like this dating sim where like you date monsters and then like they either like take you to prom or they dump your ass in the most horrific way possible.
Dude, dating in real life is already dating monsters. Am I right?
Hey,
Let's go.
What's up?
Oh, all right. We did it behind the sign. Nobody saw our fist bumps. So,
Yeah.
It's fine.
But yeah, basically, it was their reaction to getting dumped, and then they just sang a song, and then I animated that. It was pretty funny. I thought it was great, and then other people were like, "Yeah, this is alright." I was like,
I've always enjoyed quick animated segments of like podcasts or let's plays or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where like even if it's one single frame every like 5 seconds or something like that, like there's something fun along with it.
"Oh yeah."
Because your mind if it's like mostly audio, your mind kind of imagines what it's like if it's just audio from a podcast, or if it's there might be playing a game, but like doing that like animated segment, it kind of gives you a different perspective. On the original content.
Podcast I've mentioned a few times, Pre-Dead Boys, in the past few episodes. Shout out Pre-Dead Boys, you guys are awesome, Max and Dorian.
You guys are really cool.
Yeah, I'll show you them eventually.
Cool.
But they talk about death and stuff. But I have never seen what either of them actually look like.
Mm-hmm.
And so they probably look way different than what their voices sound like, So their voices are very characterized and they're very distinct. And, I imagine they probably are like, I don't know, they're way different, probably.
Yeah,
I
get that.
Is that like how everybody was super surprised when they found out Vanoss Gaming was Asian?
I don't know who that is, but like,
you remember ever watch him?
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember him doing a face reveal. I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah,
he was Asian.
Oh, okay.
Everybody thought Critical was like 500 pounds,
really,
and like 40, until he was like, yeah, I'm like 19 and I have a beard and I'm short, like.
That's such a good impression.
Dude, I love doing an
that
impression.
Was great.
What's up, everybody? It's Gab Street, the best podcast of all time. Today we're doing a little Gab Street gameplay.
I'm like, Babel.
Let's get into this shit. I love Critical. Shout out Critical. If you ever listen to this, I love you. You're great.
Do you think you'll experiment with any more animation down the line yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I eventually want to make like a YouTube channel, and then just do. Like, those slice of life videos that people will do, like Jade Animation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to eventually do something like that. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so is your process of animation... Stop pumping the table!
I bumped the table once.
The street sign's gonna fall over!
I'm sorry.
Is your process, like, for animation, like, do you use Adobe... Do you use the Adobe suite for most of your stuff, or do you use a separate software?
For the one animation that I did it like a really like bootleg style where like I did the animation like as a flip book in my software that I use, which is Sketchbook Pro by Autodesk. It's completely free and it comes with everything. It's really good for beginners plugin. Anyways, but like you can't sync up audio to it, so I just like put in the frames roughly, and then I put it into Adobe Premiere. That's the video editing thing, Premiere. Right? I put it into Premiere and then put the audio over that, and then just added and subtracted the frames from the audio, which is arguably the worst way you can ever animate something. But that's what I did. Yeah, but I just didn't feel like learning the Adobe animation software because I'm lazy.
Yeah, it takes. I used Adobe Animate for the short film paper portal I did, where it was really shitty because like to go like it does take some getting used to, and like I had to look up like a ton of tutorials just to learn how to do like some simple stuff. But for the most part, like Photoshop, if you're trying to do, because you can do frame animation in Photoshop.
Yes, I have heard of that.
If you go like frame by frame using onion skinning, done stuff like that, it's like pretty simple. Actually, the media arts teacher, I won't say her name for privacy reasons. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I miss her.
Yeah, she was. She actually had me do like a tutorial for the first period media arts class on how to do frame by frame animation.
Did you say onion skinning?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm stuck on that term.
So onion skinning is when you have your current frame that you're working on, but you have the previous frame overlaid. So if you're working with something that's movement, then you have like a reference for your previous.
Because of layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So layers.
It's like
they can
like.
So they can attribute it to Shrek. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
They can attribute it to Shrek.
I'm sorry.
Trademark. Shrek Industries.
Yep, there it is. I'm sure there is the Shrek Industries.
I can't believe Shrek has infiltrated actual like software. Like it's become a staple enough where it's already a staple. It's a cultural staple of America for thousands of years already. So yeah.
Do you think if Shrek 5 comes out, people will actually give a shit, or do you think people will just be like,
oh, it's just a big
cool
meme. It's just a big meme at this point. I never saw past one. A lot of people will be upset about that.
I've seen all of them.
Really? Have you actually?
Mm-hmm.
Should I be sorry or should I be like okay with that?
That's a good question.
I don't know if they're good or not. I just always got the impression that they were.
I mean, when you're a kid.
When you're a kid, they're really cool. Now,
when you like watching gingerbread men get mutilated, it's great.
This makes me uncomfortable.
For the most part.
Not the gumdrop.
Not the gumdrop buttons. Anyway.
He gets waterboarded by milk and then thrown into the trash. Just like most of our society.
I feel like this is like some kind of weird shit that you find in like a Snapchat story ad. Like on those like advertisements, like the real like message behind Shrek. It's kind of the dark truth behind Shrek the movie. Just like pink news.
They had the mocap for fucking gingerbread man.
I love how
they had an actual amputee with a detachable leg.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. Let's talk about more about amputees.
I came over to Cory. We watched. Cory and I saw Avengers Endgame. We came back to his house and he just put on paraplegic basketball for like half an hour. I'm not even joking.
Dude, okay, it was like 3 a.m. I was really tired and out of it, and I saw some of it at work earlier that day. I was like, this shit is so interesting. Have you ever watched wheelchair basketball?
No.
That shit is so cool to watch.
No, but
legitimately,
it sounds interesting.
Not even fucking funny. Like it's just cool to watch. You know, like it's like they're doing that.
Yeah.
For me, it was one of those things where it's just kind of like, that's different.
Yeah.
I like.
What are you, ableist?
How do you?
No, I mean it's like it's cool that they do it, but like I don't.
I was sitting in here with an
No,
ableist,
I don't like watch sports in general, other than like occasionally watching a Blue Jackets game. But that's about
Same.
it.
Yeah, I'm not a sports guy.
Yeah.
Make sports interesting, like wheelchair basketball, and then I'm watching.
Do you think they dunk it all, or?
They just have to like stack on each other.
Yeah, there
to
you
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
There's a pulley system.
Or they all do like oh god, their arms are so fucking meaty. They just wheelchair and all
demonetized.
Dunked on that monetary
and he
symbol.
like dip a toe in, just make you guys go down first, and then I'll be like, okay, now I can take a step down.
Oh my god. Hey, you aren't the one getting demonetized. People are still going to commission you.
Yeah.
We aren't monetizing this in the first place, so that's cool.
No.
There you go.
But you can buy our merch.
You can.
Quick plug.
Buy their merch.
We'll do that.
And pay us
And my
$3
merch.
on Ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/Gab Street Podcast. Anyway.
But
There you go.
Yeah.
all right. So, we do a podcast.
Yeah.
But you also do a podcast. Well, you're on a you've been on a podcast.
I do a podcast.
You do a podcast.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I'm on a podcast.
Talk that important. Wow.
Talk about like what is this podcast you do?
Oh, the podcast is called The Weekly Natters. It's kind of a flaming garbage can, but we have fun doing it.
Natters.
It's basically you looked at me weird. It's basically a podcast where we just talk about like weekly like podcast. Oh.
Like Natty Light? Is that what you talk about?
Or... Stop. It's basically where we talk about like weekly pop culture news, like movie news, video games, anime, cartoons, just like anything that we're just like, hey, this would be cool.
Okay.
We have a big list. And we mostly talk about that. My job on the show isn't really to talk. I draw live.
You
and
just sit in the corner like, you do not speak. Like, it's just...
I'm sorry, that was rude. But yeah, basically... I draw, and then I'll also talk about weird shit that happened to me that week. And that's about it. We get off topic a lot, but we have a good time. We only have like maybe 20 weekly viewers, so it's not that big.
That's still pretty good. I mean, like
that's decent for
I don't think I've ever reached past like 11 viewers on a Twitch stream that I did, which is really sad. But so.
That's we all start.
I've never gotten past 3, so that's cool.
One of which was my mom, who was like, "How does Twitch work?"
One of them was like me watching my own stream to check it, and then the other 2 were like you for like 20 seconds, and then
I think you were playing Darkest Dungeon or something.
Something like that. Terrible game to stream. Dude, never stream Darkest Dungeon. It's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like turn-based shit? Like, I don't know.
It's very rare.
Pokemon, though. Pokemon's good stream.
Oh, yeah, that's because it's Pokemon.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I think the first time I ever did a stream, it was like... burp. Sorry. It was,
it was
enough on have a stroke there for a second?
A little bit. You good? It was an art stream. And then there's one viewer, but I had the stream pulled up, and I like had conversations with that one viewer, like one-sided conversations. It was like, "Hey guy, I'm gonna call you Kevin. Thanks for sticking around." I didn't know that was me watching my own stream.
So you were talking to yourself?
I was talking to myself as myself talking to someone I didn't know was myself.
That's so sad.
It was sad.
That's so sad.
And then I realized when I turned off the podcast, it was like, oh. But yeah, that was my first Twitch experience.
Nice.
Did it feel genuine, though? Because if it did, it was worth it.
Kinda.
Yeah?
I
did you respond to yourself, too? Like...
No.
Okay. I
had
that.
I felt like I was just getting stonewalled by this guy. I was like, maybe he just doesn't have a keyboard or something. Maybe he's just like uncomfortable if he feels bad if he leaves. Those were the thoughts going through my head. Not once, but I was like,
FBI agent.
Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. Or it could have been an FBI agent. You never know.
So you have there's other people that you do this podcast with. Mm-hmm. Are they also artists, or are they just like friends of yours?
They are voice actors that I met through a voice actor that talked to me. It was like, "Hey, do you want to draw for our podcast?" And I said yes. And then they're like, "Cool." So I don't know any of those people very well.
I love those stories.
Yeah.
Yes, and then cool. Like, I love that. It's so simple and good.
Very descriptive.
Yes.
I'm good at that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm putting you on the spot, finally. Okay. I told you about this earlier, so...
My seat is hot.
Yes.
I don't know if it's from the seat or...
We got seat warmers in these old plastic chairs.
I'm uncomfortable.
So we asked this of Kenneth, and he said, I don't know. So at first,
and
then...
Going back to you as an artist in general.
Yes.
We started with.
Full circle.
So what makes you unique in the field of graphic design as an individual, and what you bring to the table?
Why should we hire Ross Davie to draw
our fan fictions?
My fan fictions.
Oh,
instead of other people.
Hot dog. That's another table. Like, we can go somewhere else if we want to talk about that.
There's a dinner table, and then there's the side table,
and then there's like the kinky table.
There's the end table by the bed.
Whoa. What makes me unique?
It's a hard question, so...
Yeah, I feel like I know the answer. It's mostly my style, obviously. Every, like, artist, it's, like, bigger. I wouldn't call myself bigger, but, like, I definitely feel like I have a unique art style compared to most people.
I would agree.
Thanks.
Of course.
Also, my color palettes are usually very unique. They're all, like, very, like, soft. And then, like, contrast that with, like, really, like, contrast bright colors. I don't see very many other artists like doing that. Usually they use like the whole spectrum, but I use like only like 2 parts of it.
Okay.
Also how I do line art, it's not exactly unique, but I like mixed styles that I haven't seen other people mix before, and I feel like that's pretty neat. So
Cool.
those are the things I mostly take pride in.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's always important for, and this is why I push guests on this, because if you want to have any success in a creative field, especially, really in any field, but it's most important in a creative field because there's so many people who claim to be creatives, and like calling yourself a creative makes you creative, you know.
Yeah.
And if you put creative energy into anything, you are automatically creative. But being a prominent creative and having people interested in your product, you have to be able to show what is different about what you do and what possible different benefits that you could provide for somebody. Like, say, especially in a commission environment, you know, because you really have to. That's such a competitive field.
Oh no, yeah.
So competitive.
When I do, what is the thing when promotion? When I promote my art in a way that like annoys people. Like I get maybe like 3 or 4 commissions a week, but almost triple that are people telling me to fuck off. But
Nice.
I'm just like I'm just gonna keep doing it because you can't do anything.
That's how you do it, man.
And that's
Get past
what I
the
do.
haters, dude.
Yeah,
Props.
I just like, if you don't like my work, you can just block me, but I'm gonna keep posting it here, and then they're just like, fuck you. They're usually like angry 12-year-olds and stuff.
You can't change for the viewership, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta... The only people that you should really even barely consider changing for is like your first like base of 25, 50 fans. You know what I mean? Like, I read something about podcasts in general. It's like always stick with your first 50, you know? And that makes sense to a certain degree. If you have your own flair that you want to put in there and that is authentically you, obviously you shouldn't change that. But when you have, like, I was actually listening to the H3 podcast earlier today. They were interviewing Logic. It was an older episode. And Logic was talking about, well, why do you want these haters to like you? Well, you know, I want to feel accepted. Okay, why do you want to feel accepted by these haters? And you're like, well, and he kept asking questions and it eventually led to, like, that doesn't matter. You should want to feel accepted by, in this case, your first 50 or your family and friends. You shouldn't want to change for the people who already don't want to support you. You know what I mean? If somebody's putting effort into it and wants to see you succeed, that's the place for it.
There you go.
You know? So, I thought that was a valuable lesson.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you're taking it very well. Yeah. If you're being truthful. I think you are, but...
Yeah, thanks.
yeah, of course. But you seem to have the right attitude, so that's cool.
Awesome. I'm glad other voices other than the ones inside my head are telling me I'm doing a good job.
Respect, yeah.
There you go.
Of course.
All right, so how do you plan on taking, or where do you plan on taking this whole, you know, artist continuing to do freelance commission work? How far do you plan on taking that?
I definitely want to take it to the point where I can finally use it to pay my rent.
Completely?
Yeah, completely. Like, art is my main job, and maybe get like part-time work to get like other expenses out of the way. I eventually just want to be completely self-reliant on commissions and social media and stuff like that. I also want to get onto YouTube and get into that field. So I ultimately want to be like, you know, like a YouTuber and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, how people like usually roll their eyes about that. But I feel like doing that, it would be fun as hell.
Yeah.
It would be a real good time.
I think it's interesting. I think a lot of cartoonists / artists that I watch are Domex and Odd First Out. I watch those guys every once in a while, and it's like, I didn't know until later that they actually have like, I think Odd First Out is, I don't know if he has a team, but Domex, he has like a couple other people working on his
animation
stuff.
team, yeah.
Yeah, he has like a whole team, and he does like the voiceover, and he'll like help out with the animation, but he's got like a whole team behind him.
Yeah, and it takes kind of a try and error, but not really. But you can like tell when people have a team, because people will animate and styles are slightly different, and you can see it like throughout the video.
Yeah.
Gage and Animation also does the same thing. you'll see like the animation style change if you really pay attention to it.
Yeah, and I think if you're really dedicated into getting into the whole field of doing cartoons and doing a YouTube thing, I think someone like you could really thrive because those channels seem to be doing really well. I'm always seeing stuff from Odd First Out and Domic's on the trending page, stuff like that. And it's like one of those. It's those kinds of channels that like you watch you watch one video and then you just kind of go down a rabbit hole of a bunch of other videos. I think Swoozy is another one I watch. He's kind of like,
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know if he like. It's kind of like he does like story time stuff, but then it's like animated, where it's like it's similar to the. It's an art style similar to like a Cyanide and Happiness kind of art style, where it's like very simplistic and it's like no like not a lot of full animation, just kind of like enough images to like
get like the point across.
Yeah, to get the point. Yeah. But I think someone like you could easily thrive in that field.
Thanks.
And I think when you mention YouTube, do you like more of a commentary perspective, or do you want to actually like voice act and animate for YouTube specifically, or like a vlog kind of setting? What do you think?
I definitely want to like do like slice of life stuff, like just that kind of animation.
Okay.
When it comes to like full blown stuff like music videos and stuff like that, maybe. I just kind of want to get into animation and see where it goes from there.
I think your voice has a lot of potential, personally.
Stop it.
Like, no, seriously, I'm not going to say I'm a professional by any means, but there are a few voices that I've heard like throughout high school and throughout, just like doing this podcast and stuff. And when I hear a voice that I think I would like to hear in the content that I consume on a daily basis, that exactly. I
eat YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice callback.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think you, even now you are loud enough for the microphone. Like it's very nice to have somebody who knows what's going on, clearly has had some sort of experience already, and your voice has enough character to it, enough inflection that it's a signature thing, and like hearing you in a cartoon would be like super cool, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep that in mind.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm always like really self-conscious when I talk. Not like to the point where I don't want to talk, but I always feel like I mumble through all of my words.
I completely disagree. I think you're very articulate. Not overly articulate either, because I've been called overly articulate before, and people are like, oh my god, you're such a nerd. But like,
I don't think I've ever like talked to someone and been like, man, they over-articulate their words. What a jackass.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's people I like to associate with.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, it's always people, like the haters. You don't want to change for the haters, you know what I mean? Like, you hate them because you ain't them. But,
sure,
hate us because you ain't us. But like, I'm not going to sit here and say you have a cartoony voice. That's not what I mean. I think you have a voice that would be good for cartoons or for some level of animation involvement. And if you were to work with someone who was talented enough, or if you were to animate your own stuff and put enough work into matching your vocal animation with visual, I think that would be a perfect pair. And I think, especially if you make it a little more tailored for Columbus and stuff, because we're all about Columbus, support local.
There you go.
That would be also really cool. So, yeah, I think you should get into that and try and get some voice acting jobs.
Cool. Yeah. That's definitely more encouraging than most people have been like. They're just like, yeah, sure, you can do animation. But yeah, I think I'll actually try now.
Yeah. If you can't give constructive criticism, don't criticize at all. I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even criticism. It was just like telling you you're good. Like, if you can't, or if you say, and this is just a lesson for everybody, I think. If you want to give something praise, it's cool to be like, hey, yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you want to legitimately support someone and help them get along to their next level, saying like, yeah, it's pretty cool, doesn't really help much. If you say, like, I feel like I'm pretty good at giving praise and constructive criticism.
Sure, yeah.
You have to develop it a bit more, and you have to be a little more invested. I think you have to actually have advice for somebody. So,
Have you looked at doing any like potential like internships for doing anything in graphic design?
I just completely spaced out for a second. I didn't know Bruce Willis was in Pulp Fiction. That's what I was thinking about.
This is the Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, there's a giant ass Pulp Fiction
Pulp
poster.
What did you say?
So have you have you like outside of doing freelance work, have you looked into like any other companies, either like, you know, somewhere in Columbus or like around town, just like looking for companies that are people that are looking for graphic designers or people to, you know, do like, you know, bring you in as like either an intern or someone who actually like works for the company? Have you like looked into any of that at all?
Yeah, I have looked into it for the past couple months, but unfortunately you need like a degree for that kind of stuff, and I don't want to go to college unless I have to. So right now it's just kind of freelancing. If someone reaches out and like wants to see me do intern stuff, then I'll be like, hell yeah. But companies usually don't like people like me without degrees and stuff like that.
I think we might know some groups of people in Columbus that may be able to help you out. So
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to point me out to some people, I'd highly appreciate it. I'm actually looking for work right now.
I'm going to shout out one of those people. Revolter Pictures. Y'all are cool. But anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, if you look, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It wasn't important, but yeah, basically, I need to teach myself how to use Photoshop and stuff like that. That's another really big thing. I don't know like Photoshop. I kind of know Illustrator, but that's about it.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, if you have a software that you use and you're comfortable with it, and you know the ins and outs, and you know that you can complete a job that is required within that software that you have. I mean, Photoshop, like. Yeah, that's what they like the Adobe Suite is what the professionals use. But if you know how to do everything in separate software, then you know. But you know, I'm not to say that you shouldn't learn Photoshop because it's a great software.
Yeah,
but
it's the studio standard.
Yeah,
get with the times, Ross. You need to learn how to do the things.
Pretty nice.
Pretty nice, yeah.
Pretty nice.
We got 2 more questions for you. One that I would like to ask you first. Is and I've also started trying to ask this of everybody because you always got to thank your past a little bit and the people who have helped you in the past. So, what opportunities are you thankful for in the path of developing your talent and professionalism in the field that you are in now? What opportunities are you thankful for in that that have brought you to the position you're at now? And what are the people that have given you those opportunities, yada yada. You don't have to name them specifically or anything, but
yeah, I feel like definitely like my sister Katie. She did a lot of art when I was trying to do art, and she would encourage me even when like my art was like really crappy, just like everyone else that like starts out. It's like, oh yeah, that's really good. Here's how you can improve with this, and then I'm just like sitting here drawing like this fox person. I don't want to go back. But yeah.
No more furry porn.
We don't talk about that. Anyway, my sister was super encouraging. My parents were super supportive of like me saying I want to do this for a living, and they're both like, yeah, we like fully support you. You definitely seem like you have the drive for that. But like you need to like work your ass off for this, and I was like, I'm fully willing to do that.
That's supportive, and I love that. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, shout out them.
Yeah, my parents are cool people.
Sweet.
Sarah and Adam, talking to you. Same last name, kinda. Anyways, and then like through high school, people supported me randomly. But once I got to senior year and started taking art classes. I thought I would hate art classes because I thought like the teachers would be like too critical and like, oh, you need to do it like this. But at our high school, like our teachers were like
they were like super
Yeah.
lenient and supportive, and just kind of like they understood that art was subjective and that it was all kind of like, for the most part, is like, if you like how this turned out and you have, and it like, it's your vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, our graphic design teacher, she would like critique every single one of my pieces. Like, it didn't matter like how like good I did on it. She'd be like, all right, you need to fix this and this, which like I very highly appreciate, because no one ever critiqued me like that on my work. Like, she would like praise me and be like, this is really good, but like you fucked up here, here, and here. Maybe not like that, like crassly, but like she really like challenged me to improve.
She knew what looked good and what could use some work.
And that takes a lot to be able to look at, to be able to actually give that kind of thing in a way that you feel that, oh yeah, that was support, like later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the moment, you better be like, oh, fuck. Like,
it's
you
like,
know.
oh man, I feel like this was garbage.
Yeah.
But when
that kind of stuff.
When you pair it with like, hey, yeah, this is good, but like here's like you can tweak this a little bit, but like this is also good. If you have a good balance there, that's great leadership.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to give criticism and critiques.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah,
I can appreciate that. I never took any of the art classes there other than musical art, but you know, it's pretty cool. I like that.
I definitely feel like we got lucky with the art teachers that we had at our high school.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
Cool.
That's how I answered that question.
One last question for you.
Cool.
This is also one. This is not a hot seat question. So
Okay.
This is one we ask everybody, every guest at the end. How can someone who is currently listening to this Bab Street podcast,
where we're at right now,
exactly, across the TV tray, how can someone find you online or anywhere and ask you for, or to support what you're doing, or to ask for commissions, or to just check out your art?
I am on Instagram under Ross the Boss Art.
Ross da Boss, right?
Yes, ROSS_DA and then Boss Art.
Okay.
So
no underscore after that.
No,
There's only one underscore.
Yeah, there's only one.
Don't spell out the word.
Don't spell out underscore.
Or you can literally just go into Instagram and type in Ross Davie, and then that'll
DAVIE.
DAVIE.
Not DAVEY or just Y or
that's
anything.
a stupid way of doing it.
Yeah.
I've been telling people that for years. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter under the same tag, but I don't post stuff on there as often. But you can follow me there if you want and look at my work. It's there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's how I do it. That's where I'm at.
And which shout-outs would you like to give? Either people you work with, people that have supported you, people that you just generally like, that have inspired you, I guess?
I mean, the artists that I was talking about before, I'm sure they're going to get shout-outs, right?
Yeah, we'll put their links.
Put those up. And along with that, I'm working for a studio right now. They're the people I do the podcast with. It's called Writers Cove Studios. And you can find them on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and I'm pretty sure Twitter as well. Just like under the name Writers Cove Studios. They're the people that are kind of like helping me get a start where I'm at right now. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's about it.
Cool.
Neato burrito.
Thank you very much, Ross. That was
Thank
the
you, Ross.
fastest hour of my life.
Oh, thank you.
That was cool. So
It's not quite an hour.
very nice
handshake.
to have you across
I'm
the
giving
TV
this man a
tray.
handshake for the people that can't see with their eyes.
Yes.
Handshake time. Yay.
Yeah, we were doing a very heartily man handshake.
Yeah,
That
it was real
cool.
good. Are you left-handed?
I'm right-handed, but your right hand was already occupied with Corey's hand being it.
Oh,
so
okay. I was
figured-
wondering because I've never
No, I'm not wrong-handed, no.
You take that back. I'm left-handed, you son of a bitch.
Did you have any last-minute quips?
Corey's dad has lifted the ban on incest jokes, but I can't think of any at the moment, so I'm just gonna...
Peter Dinklage?